Imagine scrolling through social media, your thumb mindlessly flicking past snapshots of other people's lives, exotic vacations, perfectly lit selfies, achievements carefully framed for admiration. You pause. Something feels off. You were fine a second ago, but now, suddenly, your life seems smaller, less exciting, less successful. This is the silent pull of social comparison theory, an invisible force shaping your self-perception. The theory, introduced by psychologist Leon Festinger, suggests that we determine our own worth by comparing ourselves to others. It's not a choice, it's a built-in mechanism, a survival tool. We seek reference points. We need to know where we stand. Are we doing well? Are we falling behind? There are two kinds of comparison. First, the upward comparison, the kind that fuels ambition, but also gnaws at confidence. You see someone ahead of you, more accomplished, more admired, more polished. You want to reach their level. You tell yourself, they figured it out, so maybe I can too. But sometimes, admiration turns into envy, and inspiration curdles into inadequacy. Then there's downward comparison, the kind that soothes, but also distorts. You see someone struggling, making mistakes, failing where you succeed. You feel reassured. At least I'm not in their position. But this relief is fragile. What happens when roles shift? What happens when you're the one falling behind? These comparisons aren't random. They're strategic. We pick our targets carefully, people who are just within reach, not too distant, not too different. A student doesn't compare their grades to a billionaire's business success, they compare them to the top scorer in their class. An artist doesn't measure themselves against a historical legend, they are the rising stars in their field. But here's where things take a darker turn. Social media warps these comparisons. It gives us access to endless lives, polished, edited, curated. We're no longer comparing ourselves to a few people in our direct environment, we're comparing ourselves to millions, to the best fragments of everyone's lives. The result? A constant, underlying dissatisfaction. Because no matter how well you're doing, someone somewhere appears to be doing better. And the irony? Everyone is caught in the same cycle. The person whose life looks perfect, whose success makes you doubt yourself, they're comparing themselves to. Their spotlight has shadows, their victories have hidden struggles. But none of that makes it to the surface. So what do we do? How do we navigate a world where comparison is inevitable? First, awareness. Catch yourself in the act. The next time you feel that wave of inferiority or superiority, pause. Why are you comparing? Is it helping or hurting? Second, reframe. If upward comparison is making you feel inadequate, turn it into motivation. Study the person who's ahead, what are they doing differently? If downward comparison is giving you false confidence, use it as perspective. Someone else's hardship doesn't mean you're thriving. And third, curate your environment. If certain spaces, certain accounts, certain people constantly trigger unhealthy comparisons, step back. The most powerful thing you can control is what you choose to consume. Comparison itself isn't the enemy. It's a tool, a way to measure growth, a way to find direction. But when it's unchecked, when it's manipulated, it distorts reality. And suddenly, the person you were a second ago, the person who was perfectly fine, starts to feel like less. But here's the truth. You were never less. You were just looking through the wrong lens.